Only love will save every soul. Only love, nothing else. And that love is the will of God. If you're not in a state of unconditional divine love that is emanated through and from and into the world from the vehicle, from the source of consciousness that is both within and without, then your consciousness is against the grain of our function and mission. So there must be a complete homogeneity of vibrational frequency throughout the community so that that energy field is stable and is able to emanate as a unified vibration and not as a chaos of different attitudes and karmic entanglements, because then that will not be of any service. And if we do not complete the service we have been given, we will not be able to graduate from this level of the divine wisdom school that Shiva has created as a world. And this is the final moment to pass that final exam that enables the liberation of the soul from having to go through another round of suffering and illusion. So the moments that remain until that omega point is reached are priceless. Use every moment to abide in the stillness of the realization of the presence of the one self as your true nature, without wanting anything from the world or fearing anything or missing anything or feeling any lack of any kind. And in return, the grace of the blissful self establishing that presence as yourself will be established for all time and for all eternity. This is our only priority now. The bodily characters will continue going through service of sustaining the community, but our function is to sustain the cosmic process in its optimal unfoldment and no longer be limited to the individual identity and its vicissitudes and its worries and its illusions. All of that must be let go now. There is only the one self. Nothing else is real. And there should be no narrative regarding any separate, individual, illusory being, because nothing and no one exists but the one self. And the one self is orchestrating everything. The individual is not a doer. The individual bodily consciousness has no agency. The will of God prevails. And therefore, liberation itself is an act of the grace of God. All that the individual can do is surrender. and accept and adore the infinite and offer one's heart, one's mind, one's body, one's life, one's energy to the service of that being. And in that offering, the return will be the realization of the God Self as I. No other achievement has any value any longer. The character service should go on, but without any attachment or any territoriality, but in complete acceptance of what unfolds, knowing that it is happening within the perfection of the will of God. And then there will be no burden that will be carried any longer on any individual shoulders, but God will take care of every need. And the soul will be released to fly into the infinite sky of consciousness without any anchor in a limited paradigm of reality. And once this is established, then the world itself will disappear, and only the light of God will remain and be the essence, the substance, the beauty, the ultimate revelation and redemption of consciousness from a contracted state to the total opening to the infinite reality from which we have come and to which we are now destined to return. And so we are living in the most awesome and auspicious moments in the entire cycle of the seeming flow of time. And in the revelation of the God Self, all of the secrets of the creation and of the functions and acts of God will also be revealed to the consciousness that has opened to its infinite capacity for wisdom. But that capacity cannot be received so long as there is a finite egoic identity, because that truth will shatter any illusory identity. And so we must open to receive it, or we will be defended against it. And then the grace will be delayed. And this is the moment set aside by God for our attainment of sovereignty. Sovereignty over all the sanskaras, all the predispositions of the ego, all of its karma. Sovereignty that wipes clean the slate and enables the totality of consciousness to manifest. And the totality of the superconscious to be installed to operate the vehicle. So, you've all heard that message before. None of this is news to anyone. But it's easy to hear it and not take it in and metabolize it into realization. And now you must take that final step. So that no remainder of an illusory narrative contaminates the mind stream. And you can live as the unborn, uncreated self, manifesting yet remaining unmanifest, using the vehicle to serve the Lord and to bring beauty into the world, and truth, and joy, and love, by being the blissful self.